Ben Harper, Alone. What an incredible track. I'm going to tell you guys exactly why I covered this track, how I got the bass tone, what Ben Harper means to me, but especially the incredible late Juan Nelson, who is the bassist that played on this track. Fly high, my friend, you are an angel. I remember to this day the feeling I got hearing this as a 16-year-old. It tweaked something and that hasn't gone away. So to be able to cover it the way I have is a privilege, and I can only hope that it is a satisfactory tribute to Ben Harper and of course the late Juan. I've put my absolute everything into the tone, the playing and the overall video production. I covered this track as a tribute to Juan, one of my favourite bassists to have ever lived. I can't stress that enough. There is something magical about his tone and feel and his playing and his non-linear lines and the way he moves his soul around the guitar chords is just nothing short of mind-blowing. Just something magical. I'm honoured to have this opportunity. Moving on to the tone for this cover, I've used my 2008 custom Warwick Corvette bass. I love this thing. It's been with me through some amazing journeys, and for some reason it's always felt like a good luck charm. It plays like a piano. Thank you, Richard Greenup, for my inlay work. That is a tribute to my late father, and there is something very sentimental about this bass. I love it. I chose it on this cover for its unique sound and piano playing like style. I've used DR strings to help enhance the clear modern tone that I wanted. It's very common practice for me to use DR strings because of their crisp, clear sound, especially with slapping. They're unsurpassed to me. I love them. Moving on to the recording chain, the bass tone, the exciting part, you mad dogs. First port of call is my trusty Avalon U5. I love this thing. I've had it for years. I've used it on hundreds of recordings, and I use it for its clear, analog, solid state sound and feel. It's just a tank and it's a beast. Not sure whether they even make them anymore, and I'm not selling mine. The second DI is my Giles Audio VDI. It's actually made by a guy named Ross Giles around the corner from me here in the Dandenong Ranges. The mids are pretty gnarly and harsh in this, but it gives a tube analog sound and feel, and for some mystical reason, the two DIs behave really well together. I don't know why, I don't want to know why, they just bloody do. The third piece of recording gear in my chain for this cover is my Cali 76 compressor. I've spoken a lot about this in the past. Its rack mount studio level quality makes everything sound that little bit more glued together. The tone and the feel of this thing is just incredible, and it really enhances the quiet parts and stops me having to do automation in post-production. If I can capture everything on the way in as best as I can, I'm a happy camper. The recording chain and this bass is also the exact way I recorded my Chili Peppers cover of Soul to Squeeze. It might sound simple, but it's taken me 20 years to work out the perfect mix. And once you get it, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. With my audio mixing, I will always try get the audio as close to the final mix sound I have in mind as possible on the way in. It's then processed for mixing, either using multiple Cali 76s, an LA2A for some light comp and limiting, and a Pultec EQ. There's always some gluing on the master faders with maybe a master compressor, but I try to get everything right on the way in. Then I try to balance it fairly close in the mix and just master a little bit of limiting and gluing together. Really wanted to keep that raw analog tone and feel for this cover, which I hope I've done. And I hope I've done the whole overall production justice with a tribute to Ben Harper and Juan Nielsen, who are just incredible. So with my mixes, the process is always me getting it about 80 to 90%, then sending it to Dylan, my audio engineer / sound guru, for his final thoughts and a final master export. I find it's good to run 2 sets of ears over things. He may pick up on something that I miss, and it's a good reference point to bounce from A to B. So I'm really happy with the sound, the tone, and the feel. I'm so bloody stoked for that. Moving on to writing the parts, it's always a gamble or a shuffle or a dance for me to work out which track to cover. I'll then have to work out why I'm covering it. Am I playing it verbatim, or am I going to leave riffs in? Am I going to improvise? And that's always a bit of a dance to know that, am I keeping it musical? Am I trying to show off, or am I just enhancing an already incredible piece of art? Which is ultimately what I'd hope that I'm doing. Juan's playing is so innovative and original that some parts stayed, some parts I've mimicked Ben's guitar, some parts I've improvised and slapped over. And once again, this is a gamble to make sure you're not being too flashy or wanky or over the top. I'll spend copious amounts of time blending the parts, listening back and forth until I feel the tribute is honoured well enough and I'm happy with the overall result. This doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't fall out of the sky. I work tirelessly on my covers. This is genuinely the most favourite video I've done since starting CadeTurner.com and since starting YouTube. I feel we've captured my musicianship at a level that I've always wanted it to be at, and there is just no resistance in what the lens is seeing and the ear is hearing and how I feel when I'm playing. And that took a lifetime to line up, and I don't ever want to lose that. I've got a really good crew to work with, a great production crew that helps me a lot behind the scenes. Really hope you've enjoyed this, you pack of bloody legends. Thanks for watching. Guys, I'm really passionate about what I do. It's been a wild journey so far. Feels like I'm at the beginning at times. If you've enjoyed this or found any part of it helpful, please subscribe, share it to your friends, and ultimately just listen to a tribute to the late legendary Juan Nielsen. And I will catch you bloody legends on the next one. Cheers.